My name is Ben Azulai, known as King Azulai.
No, I'm drifting, catch you slipping, won't be back again.
We know what we want in life, we go out there and we get it.
Can't roll the riches, lot of fishes, so we throwing nets. Hiding, shipping, magic, and yeah, we back again.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to our podcast, The Blackout. I got my brother here, John, with us. And before we start, I just want to share with you that we got the plaque. Let's get the plaque, bro.
Hey.
Guys, we've done it.
Congratulations, bro. Wow.
Let's open that up if you can help me from that side.
I'd be honored to.
Woo! Take a look, guys. So thank you all over at home that are watching us and supporting. We got to the 100K, guys. Seriously, thank you so much. I love you all, and we're going to keep bringing in more and more content and more information, guidance, motivation, you name it. We're not going to stop. So, again,
you can't
thank
be stopped,
you.
Bro.
Nope, we're not going to stop. So, we got John with us here today, guys.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, John.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Thanks for
joining
having me,
us.
man.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
And we're going to have some good topics today. So, John, if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe start off since everybody already knows the king, what he does. John also goes to my gym, guys,
Yes,
Zoo
sir.
Culture.
Yeah, shout out Zoo.
Yep. Good gym, guys. Really.
Oh, it's an amazing gym. Yeah. You don't have to wait for a machine.
Right?
That's the one thing I look at a new gym is not having to wait for a machine. There's nothing worse than going up and being like, hey, how many more sets you got? They're like, oh, I got 3, but he has 3 too. You're like, dude, seriously.
And it sucks because I understand also now, like in Venice Beach,
Yeah.
the
Golds.
Golds,
Yeah.
you have to get a permit to film.
No way.
So you can't just film in the gym. So it's ridiculous because obviously we film. We want to
Gotta
give
get a permit.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
with an iPhone or just with a camera?
Anything.
Just get out, dude. I went on Easter and I was just shooting away, but maybe they're the more serious type filmers they're kind of targeting.
It could be. It's crazy because we go to the zoo and we're obviously filming nonstop.
I think you don't want to shy away from people filming at your gym. I mean, it brings attraction in,
Right.
It attracts people to your gym.
Right.
So it's like free advertising.
Right.
So,
And in our gym, it's really cool because I could just come up to anybody and they're good on being on film.
oh, totally. Yeah.
I'm like, hey, can I put you on film? Is there a way that I could just like ask you a few questions? And you're like, of course. So now I don't even have to ask anymore. I just walk in with the camera and I'm like, hey guys, I got this question,
It's collaboration.
Yeah.
I mean, people at Zoo know what they're getting into. It's, a collaboration of great minds. A lot of people have followers. I call them gymfluencers. And, there's people like you who inspire other people there. They want to be in those videos. They don't want to be tucked away. I mean, you see Steve will do it there, handing out, 5, 10K.
Yeah.
And kids are like, sure, I'll sit in this room for an hour and hold my hand on somebody for 5K.
Right.
So-
It's funny. I did my music video there.
Oh, you did?
Muscle In.
Hey.
And I smashed somebody's face with a cake.
Oh, shit.
But it was cool. I paid him for it.
Okay.
And he was down.
Wait, was that
Alex?
against?
Yeah.
That was on the Mirror, right? Did it all go up? Because I thought I went there one day. It was a while ago, right? A couple months?
We cleaned it up.
Yeah,
We
I think
definitely
I saw
cleaned it
that.
up.
Yeah.
Because they're like, no, you can't do it in here. I'm like, I promise I'm going to clean it. So we cleaned it up, but it was great,
That's hilarious.
It was fun.
You dropped that video?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to check it out.
Muscling.
Muscling.
Every day I'm muscling. Who you flexing and I'm the final boss.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Dope, man.
And John, I understand that you've been friends with someone that there was just a documentary about him.
Yeah. Well, we could start. I've been in the music industry for 10 to 15 years. The first few years you're hitting the ground running, hustling in LA, muscling in LA. And, and I've been, in LA since 2008. I've been through multiple deals. I've written songs for artists like Britney Spears, The Chainsmokers, Aaron Carter. I'm blessed and I'm thankful that I've built a career in music. It's such a crazy industry. So I'm very honored to even be able to speak about that. But yes, I did work with a guy named Aaron who recently had a documentary that was dropped on Hulu But he passed away in November.
Right.
But he was a really, really good friend and a great creative partner. And just sadly, the culture of, what's going on in America just got to him and ended up taking his life. So
It's crazy that a lot of people that are famous
yeah,
end up going the same route.
unfortunately, yeah.
A lot of them, even influencers, when they become influential enough, they take the route of using drugs
Right.
or going into drinking alcohol and abusing it.
Yeah.
I say like drugs are not bad for you. The bad part about it is that they're very addictive. So anything that you do when it's a drug, you want to do it again. And then it makes you feel good in the times that you shouldn't feel good.
Right.
But with these people, it's like, how can you not feel good if you're so influential? So many people look up to you. So many people want to be you. So many people like chase you. What more can you want?
Yeah. Well, I think with any addiction, it's kind of rooted in escapism, people trying to escape something. And a lot of times the trauma of being a child star, especially for there's a very small number of people in this world who are child stars, right? And the world views you as that your whole life. I mean, it's hard for, the artist I'm talking about, his name's Aaron Carter, and he was a child superstar from, very early childhood up until his kind of teenage years. And then people kind of, move on to the next shiny object at that point. Generations grow up, people go to school, people get married, they kind of forget about the people that they loved as a kid and maybe circle back around to it when they're older. But with Aaron, he really battled constantly people keeping him in this like 15, 14, 13-year-old mindset. Like when people would be like, when I'd say Aaron Carter, people would say, oh yeah, that like young little pop star. It's like, well, he's actually 30 now, so,
Wow.
So allow him that at least to grow. I know the last image you had of him was like this young guy on stage, wearing all white and dancing, but he's a 30-year-old man now. And I think he passed away at 35, if I'm certain, but I started with him in 2015 and we were really close up until 2019.
You know what's crazy? I was just at the gym and this guy was asking me, I took my brother to the gym and it was the first time at this other gym that I go to. I brought him in and this guy was like, how old's your brother? And I'm like, oh, he's almost my age. And then he's like, yeah, he looks like a very nice person. I'm like, yeah, he's a good kid. And then
Right.
I like caught myself. I was like, I just said kid.
Yeah, in your mind, he's
for
a
me,
kid.
yeah, for me, it's my little brother. But at the same time, he's about to be 30.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not a kid.
Yeah.
And then I told him, I was like, he's about to be 30. He's not a kid. I don't know why I said kid, but it's almost like my mom. She'll always look at me as her little boy.
For sure.
Doesn't matter
Absolutely.
how
Same.
big I am, how tough I am, how strong I am, how capable I am of doing anything out there. I'm still her little child.
Yeah.
So it's crazy that people have that image of like these artists as like a baby artist, as a kid,
Yeah.
even when they grow.
Because that's what they fell in love with, and that's the idea. It's kind of like
Same with the kid from Home Alone.
100%. I mean, that's a really good comparison. Somebody who can't outgrow the image that they were kind of introduced to the world as, and I think that's one of many issues that kind of led to Aaron's later on in life spiral. There's other things, but we made it, when Aaron and I worked, we made it solely about the music. We connected on, things like God and spirituality and direction. And I know for a fact Aaron knew who God was and gave his life to Jesus. I've heard him say that. I heard him pray. And, I've prayed with Aaron. And I know that he knew God. So I'm assured that he is in the right place at the right, at this moment. Unfortunately, towards the end of his life, he got tied up.
Can you grab me one cigar, please?
Yeah, get him a cigar.
This one is a little bit messed up.
But, at the end of his life, he made some decisions. And the culture that we live in and the world that we live in, Aaron or not, just the youth in general, it's not promoting life. It's promoting death. It's promoting selling your soul. It's promoting the idea of demise and dumbing down and changing your identity and constantly, feeding this never-ending cycle of just like you aren't who you should be, and always it's like a bag in the wind. You're just chasing a bag in the wind, and people who get struggle with addiction find it hard to get their footing, especially if you're famous,
Right.
So
Because also a lot of people that I work with that do have addictions, and I've been helping them get out of those addictions. And, once an addict is always an addict. So instead of being addicted to taking fentanyl or coke or weed or whatever they were addicted to, I put them in the gym, teach them how to get the
100%.
best release of dopamine,
Yep.
and get them addicted to that.
Yep.
A lot of them became marathon runners.
Yeah, man.
They run marathons just to get that dopamine. The more they run, the more dopamine they release.
Yep.
And people think dopamine comes out of the brain. Actually, like 90% of it comes from your stomach. So, they're like running. They get the dopamine, then they start sweating. And it's like they love it. They love it and they get addicted to it. But it's very hard for me to see how they go through the withdrawal when they stop or if they relapse. 2 weeks ago, one of the guys that I was working with was found dead.
Sorry to hear that.
And what happened is that he had a daughter that's 5 years old, who he's been raising and just found out that she's not his daughter. Yeah, and he's a young guy. So he relapsed, went back to it, and died. So with taking things like fentanyl, which that's most of them what they do, is they take fentanyl. And fentanyl, like if you take it in small dosages, it's like a painkiller. But if you take more than small dosage and you're not used to it, it just shuts up your heart completely.
Yeah.
It makes you just stop. And it's a defense mechanism of the brain. It feels like something is wrong and just shuts down. It just never wakes back up. And if somebody was there, they need to hand him a Narcan.
Right. Yeah.
So they could wake him back up.
Yeah.
But nobody was there with him.
Man,
and
that's
even though he took a small dose, because he's been away from it for a few years, boom.
I'm hearing
died.
that that's like a rising killer in America is the fentanyl crisis that I don't think many people are aware of.
I just did a short film called Fetty.
Okay.
And we just launched the short film, which is like the trailer. And then we finished the pitch deck at the moment, and we're going to see what we're going to do with funding and stuff.
Wow.
But the reason I went into it is because I lost a few friends to fentanyl.
Yeah.
And then I lost many people to fentanyl that were not friends, but people that I was helping get out of it. Like, the hard part about addicts is that whenever they go down the road of things that are very, very difficult, they're like, how can I escape?
Yep.
The problem is that they escape for a minute, an hour, 1 day, whatever it is. But then when they try to get out of it, they get these anxiety attacks. And when they take it again, it just numbs the feeling. But it just it's a snowball effect.
Yeah, it's a cycle. And what you said about shifting gears to the gym is extremely powerful. If I didn't have the gym, I would be doing what I was doing before I worked out of the gym, which was going to nightclubs and or in the early 2010s and just staying out too late, going out drinking, those types of things. And it's just it's a vicious cycle because your mind just ends up going back to that place, and that's where you found your happiness. So you just keep that going. And with the gym, I've replaced that feeling, and that's what I love about going to the gym is that not only do you get to work on your body and meet friends, but you replace the old habits that don't serve you for new habits that are just going to lift you up and as you make you look like a king, basically.
Right.
So
it's crazy. I used to be 15 or 14. I used to train really hard. The thing is, I'm supposed to be a skinny guy. I'm not supposed to be as thick as I am.
Not you, bro.
Yeah, supposed to be a skinny
dude.
guy. I'll show you some pictures. But I was always like a Bruce Lee kind of body.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Very thin, very athletic, but shredded.
Right.
And anytime we'd go out when I was like 14, 15, I got a fake ID. I used to go down to MacArthur Park
Yeah.
I used to work
Classic.
with the guys there, all the Hispanics, go get fake IDs.
ID.
Yep. And I get the whole school to come get fake IDs over at MacArthur Park, and everybody knew me. Literally, I walk into MacArthur Park, nobody would even talk to me.
Oh, really?
Because like everybody, like the top dogs,
Yeah.
they knew me. I would bring so many kids in buses and in trains
Bro,
and the subways.
how did you not get arrested, bro?
We're all getting fake IDs.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, you could get inside a club? Yeah. And then there was a club called Club 17.
Okay.
And it was on Hollywood and Highland on
What year
the
was that?
second floor. I was 14, so that was like 2004.
Okay. Wasn't in LA yet. Yeah.
Yeah, so back then there was Club 17, and then after it was called DV8.
All right.
And then we would go in there, and I'd have a fake ID, and then we'd drink. And it was 18 and over, I think. I think it was 18 and over, if I'm not mistaken. But if you're over 21, then you get a wristband so you could buy alcohol. And after drinking, I would go back home, and I'd wake up in the morning, and I'd tell my friends, dude, my muscles melted. I'm never going out again.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
They're like, what do you mean your muscle? I'm like, my muscles melted. I don't look the same. I look horrible. And the gym kept me away from all these things. Where my friends they started with alcohol. Then they went to weed. Then they went to coke. Then it was ecstasy. Then it became heroin. One of my close friends at the time, he was 2 years older than me, I believe. I was 18. He was 20 when he passed. And he was Dr. Dre's son. His name was Little Andre. And Dr. Dre's real name is Andre Young. And he was Andre Young Jr.
Wow.
So, it was like a night we went out with friends. We're at a house party. Then he went off with some other guys. They dropped him off at home. I never liked those guys because they were giving him drugs. And he didn't wake up in the morning. I think it was like 10 a.m. the next day, which was, I believe, was a Saturday. I think we went out on a Friday or something. 10 a.m. that next morning, his mom found him dead in bed.
That's terrible.
And to think that, and at the time we were writing music.
Yeah.
So I only got back to music now because I couldn't pick up a pen to write music ever since. It was like a tragedy for me. I said, fuck it. We were supposed to take music, go to his dad, and we were supposed to be like the next Dr. Dre
sure.
and Eminem.
Yeah, for
that
sure.
was the goal.
Well, that's unfortunate, man. I actually didn't know that story.
And yeah, it was horrifying for me, to go through that.
Yeah.
And he wasn't the first person that I lost. So at that age, I was like, of course, I'm never going to get near drugs. I'm going to stay away from it. And I saw everybody. Okay, they thought they had a good time, a night, 2 nights. And then after that, they were crying.
For sure.
They were depressed. They had anxiety attacks. And I was fine. I was at the gym. I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you?
100%.
Come in the gym.
Yeah.
Let's work out. Let's lift weights. Let's go for a run. And within time, people just looked at me, and I was just, if we were here, slowly, I stepped away from them.
Yeah.
I was going farther and farther and farther, and they couldn't even keep up anymore.
No, I know that, man. And with my buddy Aaron, when I started working out, like, a while ago, he started seeing my results. And I just started working on a couple of music videos for him, and he was like, "Man, I gotta beef up a little bit." Now his diet was literally like, he had a song called "I Want Candy." He literally ate candy. Anybody who knows him knows what I'm talking about. His diet was candy, Twizzlers, those types of things.
Like, it was just the one, I love candy.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. And
Wow.
he also had a song called "That's How I Beat Shaq," and it was him and Shaq in a music video.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the "I Want Candy," and
You see, because when I saw a picture of him now, I didn't recognize him.
yeah.
But now that you're telling me about him, it's like, oh, okay, yes, of course.
100%. Yeah. He's our age group, and he saw my results, and we were shooting the first music video, and he wanted to be shirtless in it, and he was pretty lean but very skinny and very, very lightweight, and he was like, I just need to put on some weight, and I was working out at Gold's at the time in the Valley. And he was just like, can I come to the gym with you? I'm like, bro, you can come to the gym with me, but you have to show up. Like, it's not me waking you up, pushing you to come do it. Like, if you...
We're talking about Gold's on Laurel Canyon?
Yeah. And I'm like, if you want to work out, then you got to show up, because that's half the battle. Like every day, I mean, you and I are
might be
addicted.
where I know you from, because my coach,
Maybe.
my
Actually, now
coach
you
was
say that.
Juan,
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
and I used to come train with Rich Piana.
I remember Rich there. Yep.
Yeah, and one time we brought in Martin Ford.
Okay. Yeah, dude.
You know
I
that
actually
really
recognize
tall
you now that
big
you
guy?
say that. But you got big, bro. You got way bigger.
Yeah,
But no, man. I mean, I still have a membership, you know. But at the same time,
me too.
I you know, it's hard to get a machine there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's why I was coming in at like 10, 11 a.m.
Oh, okay.
That's the times.
I was always
like,
night shift. I like to work out at like, you know, evening time, get my food and go to bed. But
my problem is that when I take pre-workout and I work out, I'll come back home. There's no way I can fall asleep.
okay.
I can't go to sleep after that.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. But when you were going there, I was probably, let's see, I was probably 160. I'm 200 now, but I was probably 160 at the time. And I mean, I was fresh at the gym, you know, starting out. My idea of working out.
I mean, 200 is still skinny for you. How tall are you?
I know. I'm 6'3".
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm actually pretty lean right now, so I'm gonna have to eat something after this. But
6'3", guys.
6'3", yeah.
200 pounds. I think he's got like 7 pounds just in his hair.
And I'm like six. Probably actually.
Probably.
But
This guy got the greatest hair in the zoo culture.
dude, I appreciate it, man. Yeah. I don't know. It's just that's been my thing ever since a kid. Was just everyone always being like, man, you got great hair.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, thank you.
Yeah.
My mom has really good hair too, though.
35 people would love to be able to grow hair like that, man.
Yeah, dude. So I mean, I eat a lot of eggs. I don't know if that's it, but you know.
Yeah, I just had 6 right after the gym.
Okay.
Yeah.
I eat 6 in the morning. Full eggs. I do yolks and all.
I know people are like, oh, I don't want to eat the yolk. I'm like, what do you eat? They're like, only egg whites. I'm like, egg whites, that's leftover from the chicken.
Yeah.
Gold, the yolk, that's where the gold is at, you know?
100%. Yeah. I do 6 eggs and a cup of rice, and yeah, that's my breakfast. But
White rice?
white rice, jasmine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I throw some sugar-free barbecue sauce on it too.
Oh, yeah. Why not? Why
Yeah.
not?
But Gold's is a good gym, you know. It's just getting packed now.
Right.
But you know, my homie didn't show up, and that's his problem. You know, he never wanted to work out, and that was it. So for anybody struggling with addictions, you know, the gym is such a win. I mean, you're gonna flip your life around if you really commit to it. You're gonna flip your life around real quick.
Right.
I don't care if you're addicted to marijuana, addicted to cocaine, addicted to drinking. You know, I would say addicted to women, but you're gonna go to the gym and probably, you know, find some women. So,
Right.
But it's, you know, it's a good outlet for people struggling. And
Right.
for me, I mean, I was never addicted to anything. My thing was more just keeping my head clear, keeping my heart, you know, straight, and just keep going for what I wanted to do out here, which was the music industry. And I found that like in the industry, I always kind of was, I wouldn't say tossed around, but you know, being skinny, you're kind of overlooked a little bit, like as far as visually. I was always writing the dope songs, but people would look at me and kind of just be like, you know, like, oh, nice, what up, man? You cool? Nothing about the gym, nothing about the way I
Right.
looked. You know, it was always my hair. And always my hair. But now that I go to the gym, you know, you have people coming up and being like, dude, what do I do to look like you? And I'm like, me? You want to look like me?
Yeah.
Or the one that I always find is like, what are you on? And I'm like, I'm on nothing, man. I'm on eggs. I'm on a lot of protein, you know. I'm natural, so I've never taken anything. And, you know, being in my 30s, I've thought about maybe, you know, boosting something with test eventually if I needed to. And I watched your video actually about you know, you had them all set out on the table, and you were interviewing my homie. And you know, it was really informative and interesting, because even I don't have a clue if I wanted to start something like that, where to start, what to get, who to see. I've never even done a blood panel. So,
Right.
you know, but I can tell you one thing: I do not feel like my testosterone is low, but maybe you don't know, you know.
Yeah, you don't know. I mean, one thing about testosterone is it's not only the part where you feel horny or have a higher sex drive. It's also, think about it this way. When you were younger, if you'd fall, you'd get hurt, you'd heal much quicker. It's because the higher testosterone. As you get older, the body has less testosterone. You just fall apart much easier. And also, you don't heal as quick.
Right.
Steroids don't grow your muscles. They make them heal much quicker. So you could train the same muscle again and again and again, day after day. So I could train chest today, and if I truly want, I could train chest tomorrow too. And I could train chest the next day if I'm on gear. When I'm off gear, I could train chest today, and then I'll train chest in 3 days. It is what it is.
Right.
But
I like chest 2 days in a row sometimes. I know some people are like, what are you doing? But I like that.
yeah. I mean, when you walk up, what they see first is like a chest.
Yeah.
You know, WWE, they were training mostly like their traps. Sure. So it makes you look bigger. So if I'll stand here like this, you know, people be like, damn, bro, you're a big guy. And I'm like, yeah, you know.
What would you say is your like focal point on your body? Like that you think is best? For me, it would be my back.
So now I'm all symmetrical.
Okay.
Yeah. When I went into wanting to compete, I stopped training certain body parts and start training other body parts more.
Right.
So if I'm in shorts, I look symmetrical.
Got you. Same.
Everything.
I never skip leg day.
Yeah.
Twice a week.
I skipped leg days right now for about 7 weeks, and I just started again just because I wanted to take some weight down. I was too heavy, and right now I'm going to the movie industry. So for me, it doesn't make sense to be so big. Anyways, I'm big.
Yeah.
For me, another 15 pounds, I'm too big. And I can't move as quick. I usually do all my own fight scenes.
Okay.
I literally do my own fight choreography, and then I do the fight scene.
Jeez.
So for me, also some stunts. I'll do some stunts. If they're not crazy stunts, because I used to do stunts when I was younger. But I'm
With
not
your
a
little brother?
stunt. Huh?
With your brother?
No, in movies.
Oh, okay.
Like I was a stunt double for Steve Guttenberg in a
on.
movie called Cornered.
No
He was a
shit.
serial killer. Anytime he went under a mask, it was me. But they had me like roll down a stairs like 7 different times, and it was like 15 stairs.
You grew up out here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was crazy. And then you break your body. Then the stupid girl who had no idea how to work with a bat was
God.
supposed to swing a bat into the back of my head, but like a foot away. She swung it right into my ear.
No shit.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
I was almost unconscious.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It was horrible.
They better have insurance on that set.
They had insurance. I was supposed to sue them. Like everybody on set was like, sue the insurance. Listen, you can get fucked up for life.
Damn.
And I was like, I will never sue anybody. I'm not the guy who will go to the cops. I'm not the guy who's going to take you to court and sue you. It's not me. It's just not me. I'm the kind of guy that just believes in karma, but also believes in like that honor, you know? Like I'm not going to be that little bitch, if you want to call it, that's going to go out there and sue you or call the cops on you.
Yeah.
That's not me.
No, God's got your back.
You know?
That's it.
So I didn't do anything, and we continued to film, and they loved me. And then they even wanted to throw me a tip, and I was like, no way.
I mean, I might have taken the tip, but
And then also they wanted me to do like a shot of me running with my butt cheeks hanging on the street, and they offered me a lot of money, and I said no.
good on you. Good on
Huh?
you. Good on you.
Yeah, they offered me like $100K,
No way. Wow.
and I said there's no way. I'm not gonna do that. You want to get somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm not your guy.
You were
know?
going to be a butt double, or was it going to be you?
No, yeah, butt double for him.
Dang.
They wanted me to run on the street with my butt out.
Got it.
I was like, yeah, it's not me.
Yeah.
They're like $100K. I'm like, nope. I think I was like 17 too, or 18.
It's that typical Hollywood, like,
Yeah.
come on,
Yeah.
just do it.
Yeah. Everybody's like looking at you like you're gonna do it or what?
Because they're like, I'm going to do it.
right.
You know?
I'm like, nope, that's not me. I'm a classy guy.
Yeah, good on you, man.
You know, I have values which a lot of people don't hold.
No one has values in Hollywood, man. It's like very, very rare if you find somebody like us that's like, no, not going to do that. So,
I'm writing right now 3 scripts for a movie,
okay.
and it will be some of the greatest movies.
Which one are you most excited about? All 3, but what one are
they're
you like?
they're like a trilogy.
Oh, okay.
So it's one after the other. So it's going to be amazing, but I still can't talk about it. I can't
Right, I
speak
feel you.
about it. I'm about to be done with my first one. And as you know me, I like to take people and uplift them. So I took a kid who just finished school in Germany, and he came out here and he has nothing to do, but he knows how to write scripts.
There you go.
So I told him, you know what, partner up with me and let's write it together. I'll give you something to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and he's my neighbor. He lives across the street.
Oh, okay. That worked out perfect.
Yeah, and his family is friends of my family. So I said, you know what, let me help him.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be great. But, you know, I didn't put in there any sex scenes for myself or anything like that. Because I don't, even if it's going to be like supposedly a sex scene, you won't see me naked. That's number one. At most, you'll see me kissing her. And it's all going to be pretend, completely covered.
Got you. Yeah.
You know what
Tasteful.
I mean? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like, even if they'll ask me, they'll say, look, we have to have a love scene. Like, okay, well, we'll do it in a way where I don't need her naked. She's in a, you know, I don't want to do that. I want to be that different guy.
Absolutely.
That guy that respects everybody and brings to the film respect. Because I feel like a lot of people just get used there.
That's what the industry needs, man. We need more films, more music, more TV shows, you know, more content that's not. I mean, did you see the recent Met Ball? I mean, dude, it's like the photos I'm seeing come out of that, you're like, they're wearing that in public, you know? Like, I remember back in the day when you'd see people in underwear and it'd be like, wow, that made like television, holy cow. Now it's like commonplace, you know? Right. I'm not saying just underwear. I mean, some of these people are like fully nude and painted, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's not that, you know, I mean, everyone has their thing, but, you know, where's our self-respect as a culture now? You know, where's our decency as a culture? Because we're just degrading ourselves, and it's a battle now of who can do the crazier stunt, who can do the crazier thing, who can go further and further down the rabbit hole, you know?
And the more you do dumb shit on social media, the more they push it out.
Yeah.
If you notice, like TikTok, all of the videos are idiotic. Nothing gets pushed out if it's not idiotic.
TikTok for sure, because it's like TikTok on our culture. It's like time's almost up. You know? Like when do we reach that point of no return? I think we're already there, but I mean, when do we reach that point where it's like the clock stops, you know?
Yeah. I feel like it's coming.
Something's coming.
World War III is coming.
Hey, you saw what happened today.
Yeah. They try to take out Putin.
Yeah. They shot down a drone, or it was over.
It looked like it landed from the video. It
I
landed on the building,
okay.
But it was very minor explosion.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like a big explosion, you know?
Right.
It was very minor.
Yeah, I saw the video. I just didn't know the details. And I thought I saw a response from Putin saying, like, you know, like,
people don't understand something about Putin. Putin has been a president for a very long time.
Right.
You know how here we have one term and then a second term? So you get 4 years, then another 4 years.
Right.
I think Putin has already had 5 or 6 presidents that he's been going through with the United States. So he already knows everything about everything. Number 2 is they are a very, very powerful country. Nobody really wants to fight with Russia. People don't know this, but you know, I hang out with a lot of Russian people. I grew up with Russian people. Every ex-woman of mine was either from Russia or from Ukraine, because they all speak Russian. They all very much think the same, think alike. Strong-minded people. For fun, we play chess. And these are all, like, majority of them are criminals. You go to Russia, majority of the people are criminals. Gangsters. So there's a hierarchy there. So there's levels for being a gangster. So when you're dealing with somebody on the street, you don't know who he is. By the cars, by license plates, by tattoos, you know the level of hierarchy that he stands in. You don't have that in other countries. So if you really want to go to war with someone like Russia, everybody's a badass. Everybody's willing to fight. Everybody's willing to go to war. And they're very good. They're very strategic. And they have all sorts of artillery, bombs, tanks, you name it. If they wanted to take out Ukraine with one bomb, they could have.
Oh, for sure.
They're just playing nice because the whole world is looking at them. But if Ukraine just made the mistake of trying to take out Putin, that gives him now all the right to go and say, all right, we're going to kill him.
Now, was this, in your opinion, a mistake, or do you think that it was to escalate something to bring the world kind of closer to that line of war?
You know what? That's a good way to look at it. But I think that's playing with too much fire.
Yeah.
Because I'm one badass motherfucker. I would not mess with Putin.
We have a saying in our cowboy family is, if you shoot at a cowboy, don't miss.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
the cowboy's not going to miss.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing, though. It's the same thing. Like, how can he go to war? Try to annihilate somebody like that. Try to take him out. It's like trying to take out the president of the United States, you know? But at the same time,
they've done it before.
They have.
But that might have even been what we're finding out now. What internally? It's not. It wasn't so much maybe somebody just randomly doing that, or maybe it was an orchestration within our own system to do that.
Yeah.
You know, there's things they're not telling us.
And there's a lot of people in the United States that talk bad about Putin. I'll tell you one thing about Putin. He's a very smart guy, very strategic, very knowledgeable. He thinks way before he does a move. He's not somebody that anybody in the world wants to mess with. And it's great to just be with him in good relationship, because he's not looking for war. He's not somebody who goes out there and looks to fight the United States. Look at him. He's just brought the BRICS nation together, right? He's somebody who's actually, you could communicate with him in the time that we had Trump.
BRICS is wild, by the way.
Yeah.
The fact that America is being excluded from such a conversation. What's happening?
It's crazy. It's
crazy.
Like,
what?
It's crazy because we have somebody like Biden. Somebody who doesn't have control over a conversation. So how can they even bring him in? You know, he can't speak a full sentence. He can't walk up a plane without falling. He can't ride a bicycle without falling. He's obviously either has dementia or something is going on there. But it's sad that the United States is letting us look so bad. And when I say Trump is going to be in office 2024, and people don't understand. It's not because I want Trump in office. It's because I want someone that will be able to help us get out of what we're in, right? It doesn't matter if it's you, it's me, it's my videographer, whoever it is. Whoever could handle the issue that we're dealing with right now, that's the person that should be in office. One thing we know about somebody like Trump, he's been under a lot of pressure in his life, and he knows how to get out of it. It's almost like he is, in a way, a sociopath, if you think about it. Like, it's almost like he has no emotions. In the time that I saw the documentary, everything was crashing. His hotels, everything. It was just, that's it. He was going to lose every penny of his and go to the ground. His name was about to be demolished. He was sitting in his office and taking calls for dates.
Wow.
Super calm. The whole world is falling apart. Super calm. Guess what? He got out of it. And you know what's really funny to me? That people go, well, he got a loan from his dad, and it was a huge loan. It was $1 million. Let me tell you something. $1 million is not that much money.
Especially nowadays.
It was never that much money. It's just a lot of money for people who never acquired $1 million.
Right.
There's not much you could do with $1 million. Today, to buy an SVJ Lamborghini, it's $1 million.
Yep.
You guys think at the fact that the guy got $1 million and turned it into $7 billion. $7 billion. There is 1,000 million and 1 billion. This guy made 7,000 times his money that he loaned. Most people, I'll give them $1 million, they'll buy a Lambo, and that's about it. They'll put a down payment on a house and won't even have money to pay that house. That guy turned it into an empire. I'll give that guy any day $1 million.
What you hit on was kind of the state of where our world is everybody hyper focuses on something that can like negate somebody. But I think what we really need to be focusing on is ideas.
People.
I mean, there's a lot of them.
Small-minded people.
We need to be focusing on ideas. We need to be focusing on conversations. Enough of this, you make me feel some sort of way. Or enough of this, like, what you've said about that person is, I don't agree with that. You need to be able to bring your angle and my angle to the table like we're doing and have a conversation and be able to discuss ideas that move us forward. And what I'm seeing with America right now is that we're not moving forward. We're moving backwards and being left out of the conversation.
Of course.
They don't even want to deal with us.
You know how degrading that is?
Yeah, it feels by design, in my opinion.
Of course.
It's almost like they know that we're being left out, or maybe there's some conversations happening that we're not aware of. And but publicly, you know, they're focused on all of these, you know, strippers and this and lawsuit of this and that and da. And all that is just your TikTok viral moment, your tweet that goes viral, the things that people want to focus on, the shiny ball, you know. But really what we need to be focusing on is, how is this single mother over here going to afford groceries when you're giving other people, like, you know, immigrants crossing the border illegally, money and incentive to come over here when our own people aren't even able to afford their bills and their just simple living expenses?
Do you know in 2022 how much money was given in taxes?
How much?
To the government?
Give me a number.
$5 trillion.
Where did we put that money?
That money is gone. Where is it going?
Well, I have an idea, but where do you think it went?
Like, where is that money going?
It's not going to the roads. It's not going to the infrastructure.
You could rebuild United States with $5 trillion. Rebuild it completely. You come into our airports from a place like Dubai, where I fly to Dubai a lot, or from Qatar. You fly in here and we look like a third world country.
Absolutely.
United States.
Yeah, absolutely.
The roads, the buildings, neighborhoods. Why aren't we just gentrifying every single place in the United States?
Well, look at just the average home in Los Angeles. Let's take the Valley, for example. The average home in Los Angeles is like built in 1950. I mean, I don't know the exact year, but you look around and all of these homes are just like crumbling, right?
Yeah.
And then next door you have this like beautiful brand new home that somebody could afford to build next door to, you know, homes that have been there since the 60s. And then you go down, you know, Van Nuys Boulevard, for example, Van Nuys Boulevard, and so much potential in Van Nuys. I look at that as a developer and think, God, you could turn this into an amazing
paradise.
You could turn this into
ghetto.
You got palm trees lining the streets, and then you got just crumbling buildings down it, and you've got the dealerships, but then you've got some guy swinging a knife walking down the street.
So taxes came in. You know, the IRS was formed in 1912, 1913, which was an offshore company. Then they started taxing people, and it was about 0.5%. Today it's 50%. But after World War II, we're supposed to get taxed to help the soldiers that are coming back, to make sure everybody's got money, that the roads will be built and all of that.
Right.
After that, it was supposed to be stopped. It rise up to 50%, which means that half of the year you work for the government and the other half of the year you work for yourself. My biggest issue is this. When I pay taxes on my money, they take 50% of my money. Then I go to buy something at the store and I pay taxes on that with money that I've been taxed on. Then that money, after the tax, gets taxed by the owner of the store, right, who now also pays tax, and we both also pay property tax for what? We bought the house, it's paid in full, done. Am I paying for oxygen? There's property tax. There's so much tax on tax on tax on tax.
And you're left with birdseed.
We're left with nothing.
Yeah.
Who worked for that money?
You.
Me.
They don't care.
Who made the money?
Yeah.
Me. Who woke up in the... But they do not give a fuck. And that is robbing the people. instead of thinking how we can help the people. And then they'll tell you, oh, we'll give you some money for free. The end of the year, we'll give you some money. Let's, help people in Corona time.
You get what?
Don't
500,
pay this,
1,000.
don't pay that.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Well, during Corona, they were passing out PPP loans, right?
PPP, SBA loans.
But those are to be paid back, right?
And now some of them are maybe not to be paid back.
Yeah, but they're just deducting it from people's bank accounts, aren't they?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. The PPP.
I was hearing differently that people were going, wait, are you deducting, like seeing money leave their account because they took a loan?
But they also screwed over all the people that own houses and were renting them out.
Right.
Because, now you don't have to pay rent. What do you mean? Who's going to pay my mortgage?
For sure.
You're going to pay my mortgage? Who? They completely messed up the whole system in the time of Corona. It was crazy. It was crazy to me that people were even scared of this little bug they called Corona. I knew it was fake. I knew it wasn't true. And it's sad what they're doing to the people. They're scaring everybody. Everything, like every video that like goes big, it's scaring the people or making them dumber.
But why do the videos of exposing it scare people more? Because it's like they want to just agree with the fear rather than going, wait a second, hold on. Mr. Gates, what's going on? Why do you have these patents? Why do you have this going on? Why were you guys already ahead of the game before it was even unleashed? It's like you knew something before it came out.
Right.
So why are people scared of having those conversations?
Simpson knew about a lot of things before it came out, right?
Right. Always. Yeah. Always.
The Simpsons.
Yeah. But I almost find like that could be I don't know. I like going down the rabbit hole. I like to ask questions. I've always been curious,
Right.
I want to know. Are they just putting it in front of us so it's hidden in plain sight? It's almost like soft disclosure,
Yeah, and I was talking about some of these things that they're using as a scapegoat on some of my shorts that I was making to explain to people, like creating Corona. And then all of a sudden, there's no chicken because the chickens, we had to destroy them. So the price of the chicken went up, which makes sense to people. There's not enough chicken.
But they're burning down chicken farms.
And who said they actually burned them? Maybe they never burned them,
right.
But it's just inflation. And they're telling you, there's a reason. There's not enough chicken. Now there's not enough eggs. There's not enough toilet paper. And people go, makes sense why it's so expensive. And then all of a sudden people were selling those things on eBay and people were saying, they'll go to jail for price gouging. Nobody went to jail. Nobody got arrested. Today, it's a mess in California anyways. Nobody goes to jail anyways. You beat up somebody, you don't go to jail. You go steal something under $1,000, they don't even stop you.
Plus add the amplification of social media. People seeing, I can go in and just rob a store and leave. And then somebody else amplifies that and posts that. And then all of a sudden people copycat.
Right.
And we're just in a culture of just constant, mimicking, and fear. And it's just like compounding. And then there's people like you who are inserting ideas out there that may be hard to digest, but they need to be heard.
Right.
Listen,
for me, I'm all about the people. But there's always going to be small-minded people that when I put a workout, they go, but you look like that because you take steroids.
Right. Exactly.
Guys, I just told you about a workout. Do you work out? They don't work out or anything.
Yeah.
Or I'll post a video explaining about the world and where the world is going. And they're like, dude, you have a fake watch on. I'm like, okay. Let's say my watch is fake.
Who cares?
My muscles are fake. I just told you what's about to happen to the world.
Yeah.
Do you not get the idea? People are so small-minded. Yeah. They're closed up, and it's sad because I'm here to help them. And then a lot of them are starting to get the idea. They start really loving me, and they see that I'm only here to support the people. Because I've made a lot of money in my life. I had 16 companies right before I started this. I literally let go of most of my companies. I only kept the ones that I have partners with, that I don't have to be there. Other than that, I felt at a point that there was nothing left for me except going out there and helping more and more people. I was helping people daily, but it wasn't enough. And now it's a lot more fulfilling.
I was
But
gonna say that's where we need vision, we need fulfillment, we need purpose. We
Right.
don't enough of this like I'm gonna go out and buy something to make myself feel good.
Right.
Cool. I mean, during Corona, I didn't buy anything really. It was just like I had what I had and I just lived on it.
during Corona, I bought a Lambo, I bought a Rolls Royce, I bought a G-Wagon, and I bought a Range Rover.
That's awesome. But
No.
where
You
are
have to
they?
understand. I got to the point that then I realized that, first of all, I only drive the Range Rover. So who the hell needs all these other cars? Then, even driving the Range Rover, I didn't realize I'm driving a Range Rover that's $150,000. I just felt like I'm driving a normal car. And it's funny because if you ask me what my dream car is, it's a minivan.
I mean, why is it a minivan?
Have you ever sat in a minivan?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
In the front seat, it's so comfortable. It
Give a
is
king
so
a throne. Give a king a
comfortable.
throne, bro.
I just don't want people to laugh at me. But the truth is,
I mean-
I would have like a a setup in the back seat with like a TV where I could recline and just chill, like stop anywhere on like a maybe like a spot looking at the ocean.
You and I are bigger dudes, and I need leg room. Like
Yes, space.
Yeah, I don't need economy like car. I need first class like space leg room.
Right.
I drive an F-150, and
Right.
I've driven an F-150 my whole life. I've had two, and I've got a 21, and I love it because it literally just feels like
Love
you're kind of like
F-150s.
you're just
Yeah.
up above the road. I used to drive a smaller vehicle, like a mid-size SUV, just for like a lease in a town car around town. And people would just get out of my way, and I'm like, I'm not a bad driver, but just because of the size of it
Right.
and like the overall
People are
style,
annoying.
people were just like, get out of my way. I drive a truck. People were just like, oh, you need to get in? Okay.
Right.
Like they don't say anything. They just move out of my way.
I used to have a lifted F-350.
Oh, sick.
But like through Corona, I realized that even though I had these cars, I was always driving one car. I was
Right.
barely driving all the rest.
Yeah.
I had a very big house. I realized I don't need that size of a house.
Were you buying these things to kind of feel like, I don't know, just like achievement,
Yes.
feel like you
Yes.
had something? It's
Yes.
kind of like the crypto bro thing. It's like, oh, win Lambo, bro. It's like, dude, like, why don't you buy your mom a house first? Why don't you get your sister out of debt? Like,
Yes.
let's not.
I felt like, so I take care of my mother.
Good.
Anything she needs, I support her 1,000,000%.
I love that.
And any one of my family, what's mine is theirs. It's not mine. I don't work just for myself. I work for the whole family.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was trying to fulfill myself with something, like buying things.
Oh, yeah.
And driving this car and that car, living in a big house. I realized I don't need any of that.
For sure.
I just need to do something that's bigger than me. And it got to the point where I realized 5 months ago, I was like, okay, I got to go on social media. Everybody were like, Ben, you don't understand. Like, forget about you. The world needs to know of you. The world needs to know who Ben is. The world needs your support. You must come out. And that's what I did. I studied the social media. I watched the things that people post, what really works, what doesn't. And then I said, you know what? My 60% is literally everybody's like 120%.
Yeah, man.
So I'm going to start with 60%. And let me tell you this, where I learned it from. When I was 19, I went to buy a BMW, an X6.
So-
I used to be friends with the owner of Bob Smith BMW here in Calabasas. I went in there, and he was looking for an X6 for me. I wanted a white one, black seats. And we started looking, and he found one in Beverly Hills. And I was like, why is it that these, like, cars, they're just not advanced. They just don't look good. I was 19. It was back in 2009. And he goes to me, Ben, you know what I really like? You let me show you something. And he takes me to his office, and he opens the computer, and he shows me a car. It's the sickest car ever. I'm like, wait, when is that one coming out? And he's like, hold on, hold your horses. That one is coming out in 2030.
Okay.
I'm like, what? Why? He's like, let me explain to you why. Because people anyways buy every year all of our cars. And every year we make a little bit of a change. So if we give them 100%, we have nowhere to grow.
Yeah. It's like an iPhone.
Exactly.
Why put it all in one? They're going to
Exactly.
release it over time.
Slowly. So he said, we changed the light a little bit. We changed the bumper a little bit of the dashboard.
Yeah.
Other than that, people still buy and we still get sold out. He goes, in that point in time, if we were to put the one that's for 2030, we would lose all these millions, billions, trillions of dollars that along the way that we could have made. So they waited, and they'll put 50% of what they could give because they could give 100%, but they'll slowly bring it up. That's the same thing I did with social media. I gave 60% of the king. I gave 60% of what I'm capable of giving. And every time I added something, the videos got a little bit better. The cameras got a little bit sharper. The scenery, the staging, the clothing, the way that I speak, the logo, the editing, everything got slowly better and better and better.
You put little Easter eggs in your video. It's like a new thing. And
Yeah.
your viewers are like, oh, I spotted it.
Yeah, I like these eggs.
Yeah, man. I mean, actually, Aaron used to get his BMWs there too. That was his spot. They took care of him all the time. Yeah. I'm more of a truck guy, like I said, but I definitely respect them. And you see all the cars at zoo, bro. Like, you know, people pulling up in BMWs and Mercedes and Lambos,
R8s.
Ferrari, everything, bro. You know, that's kind of half the fun. The show is in the parking lot, and then you walk in and everyone's filming. But yeah, man, watching you and your videos and stuff, it's inspiring. This is my first podcast. So like my first one, I had to get over that fear of being like, speak your mind, you know? And, but it starts with this like burning fire that kind of turned into, you know, like leaving comments to like tweeting to, you know, reaching out to somebody and then to collaborating. And now we're sitting at a table, you know? And so for me, it's inspiring to watch somebody grow their passion and also their purpose. And so I commend you your studio is amazing. It's brand new.
Thank you.
So,
yeah. The fresh paint.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
You know how many people have been asking me to come on the podcast and I constantly say no?
Really? Well,
Yeah.
Dude, I'm honored, bro. I'm
Like
honored, man.
I have probably a good 3 to 4 people per day that tell me, let me come on your podcast. Let me come on your podcast. But a lot of them are trying to,
Just
first of all, I
crouches.
don't know them.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two is that they want to promote their product. Like after a few questions with them, it's like, yeah, I have this company and this and that, and they want to promote a product. And I'm like, listen, I have no problem helping somebody out, but at the same time, I don't know your product. I haven't tried your product. If I don't know something is 1,000,000%, 100% like the perfect product, I will not tell my people that are my fans that I don't even have fans. These are not fans or followers. These guys that are watching me, they're literally like my family now.
Yeah.
They leave me messages and comments that they love me, that I'm the Messiah, that I'm turning 33. Yeah, I'm turning 33 and I'm like gonna resurrect like Jesus Christ, and like I'm leading them out of slavery. The comments and the messages that I get,
They're lost boys, though. They're
I'm
just looking
like,
for direction.
Whatever it is, I'm so honored.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful. Sometimes some of those comments almost bring tears to my eyes.
For sure.
They do
Absolutely.
bring, my eyes literally get watery and I get emotional. I'm like, wow, these people love me.
Yeah, man.
And I've always thought that people would hate the way that I view things because I view them so differently. And now all of a sudden people love it. So for me, if I'm going to promote something and I'm going to have them ingest it, I'm going to make sure that it's going to be the best.
For sure.
I'm not going to give them something that I don't know. So a lot of people have been wanting to come on the podcast and I was like, no.
Well, look, I mean, they want to push their products, like you said. I think it's more important in this climate that we push ideas and that we push conversation rather than pushing me or you or like, I moved to LA and I wanted to be the artist and write for other artists. And I wanted to be the center of the attention. And I realized, that wasn't what I necessarily wanted. What I wanted was to get my voice out there, my message out there, and be heard. I think everybody has that desire to be known as far as like their voice being heard and their message being accepted. Right. And for me, it's becoming more and more just about, especially seeing what's going on in the world. What do I bring to the table? Am I just going to go on there and push myself? That's not what it's about. It's about having conversations so that people can understand, like, we have some serious problems to solve right now. And it's not going to be you or me that solve them, but it's going to be us as a collective coming together, discussing ideas, and not being afraid to be A, wrong, or B, also open to kind of changing our mind on topics too.
Right.
You know, I don't agree with everything you say, and you don't agree with everything I say.
That's why
but
we're
we can
two
find
different
exactly, and we can find common ground.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about. There's a guy on Twitter named Zuby. He had said, "I don't attack people, I attack ideas," and I was like, that's profound, because we're not here to fight each other. We're here to fight wrong thinking, wrong ideas, mental illness, all of these things that are bringing people to their demise.
Right.
We're here to inspire each other. We're here to uplift each other. And especially in an era where they want it to be right and left, and, you know, even just right center, left center. It's like, why can't we just be like, I've got my ideas, you've got yours, and let's put the best ones out there, and the best man wins, you know?
Right.
And the best idea wins.
Right. And I would love for less hate.
Less hate,
Right.
yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we're all the same.
I don't care what you do in your private time or in your private life, or what you say or what words you're using, as long as you're not hurting somebody and you're not promoting somebody else to get hurt, then I'm cool with it. But I'm not sitting here worried when I go to bed what you're saying, Ben, you
Right.
know, like in your private time,
Right.
you know? So
I feel like as long as somebody doesn't have an evil motive,
right.
and just come with an idea. You know, Elon Musk was like, hey, I'll come with an idea.
Brilliant.
Here is the idea.
Brilliant.
I'm going to push this idea. People loved it. People bought into his idea.
How genius was that to have this platform that's been almost like, I mean, it was approaching the point of evil, you know? At one point we were like, oh my God, where's this headed?
Right.
Because people are being censored and only certain ideas are being pushed, and you can't go on there without, you know, all of a sudden your reach is being limited because you've searched or typed certain keywords in. And for somebody who goes, I'm going to free the bird, come in and just lasso that up, purchase it, and then literally open the cage and let the bird out and let everybody share ideas. I think that's insane. Like that, nobody did that before. I mean, it's expensive, but
Right.
but here we are on a platform now that can, you know, really change and make positive ripples in the world.
I think that eventually the other platforms will die too, just because they're censoring people. I don't think any platform or anybody should be censored unless they're doing something that threatens other people. But how can you show a drag queen on Instagram, or, you know, twerking and doing stuff, and girls half naked or naked on Instagram, or somebody walking into a store and shooting somebody and it says sensitive content, and you click it and it's like, okay, I still want to watch it, and you could see somebody killing another person, but then
Isn't that
Donald
wild?
Trump says something and then he gets taken out of there.
Isn't
And
that wild that
obviously I had a video that explains Donald Trump is going to be in office 2024 because Instagram brought him back, and Facebook, which means they knew he's going to be back for president. He was going to shut them down. So they're just trying to kiss his ass and let him back in before he goes up for president, because we know there's nobody better at the moment. If there was, no problem. Show him to us. I'll vote. But if it's between Biden and between Donald Trump, we know who's going to go up for president.
Do you think it's going to be between Biden and Donald Trump?
I mean, I don't know who else it's going to be. Maybe Hillary's going to go up again.
I don't think so.
No.
But what if they tried to put Michelle Obama? Don't you think the generation that grew up with her are going to go that direction?
I have a question. Is it to her or he?
See, and that's where you
Because
you can have that, you know.
Because I heard some stuff, and I've seen some posts on Instagram that it's not a woman, she's a transgender. Is that true, or?
Again, I'm here to not discuss people, but the ideas,
Yeah.
and I have no idea on that.
Me
So-
neither. It's been.
But I do know that both their children look like her. I mean, I'm also not somebody who I'm not somebody who is trying to attack anybody for their, because I living in Los Angeles.
No, I was genuinely asking.
No, for sure. But living in
Like-
Los Angeles, we meet a variety of people, right? And the first artist that I ever met in Los Angeles has now transitioned into a woman later on in life.
I have literally no problem with that.
And
like,
but here's what I say is I watched that same person go through wanting to start cross-dressing to going back to being completely like, a male, and then now completely going the other. So in my opinion, it's not for me to say this person's that or whatever. I just know one thing. I am a man and I have biological, male parts, and that's what I know about me. Everybody else, I have no idea.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was crazy because I saw a few posts lately that was on Instagram that they're saying that Michelle Obama was a dude.
I think I saw that.
Or
Yeah.
a dude. I'm like,
There was a photo with it. Yeah.
I'm like, what? I was just in shock. So I started like Googling, like, is this true? And then there's like all these weird articles where I also find it very disrespectful that, let's say she is, okay?
Is what?
Huh?
Is what?
Let's say she was a man before.
Oh, gotcha.
Biologically. Like, why is there so many like bad stuff about it? You know what I mean?
I think again, it's
Like
the way to tear
the
people.
The world is looking at only the bad things. It's still a person.
Right.
At the end of the day, it still has feelings. It has a soul. Whether they know if they want to be a man or a woman, that's completely fine. I have no problem with that. I don't know if you ever heard of Abby's.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so it's a gay nightclub,
Okay.
and it's in West Hollywood. And I used to have a lot of friends that had more gay friends than straight friends. And the reason
Los
is
Angeles.
because the
so
gay
many people.
guys have so many cute girls with them. So they were like, fuck yeah. And then they were like, Ben, you got to come out with us. And then I went with them a few times to the Abbeys. Now, I don't really drink or I don't do anything. So for
When
me,
you said it
was
like that, I think I have heard of that actually. It's a club in
But-
Hollywood.
West Hollywood.
Oh, West Hollywood.
It's on Santa
I know
Monica and
exactly
Robertson.
now. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. There used to be
But-
another club across the street that I went to for a music event. There was always paparazzi and stuff outside. Yeah.
The nicest people, and then I started becoming friends with like some of the gay guys and stuff, and they knew it. They're like, we obviously know you're straight. As soon as I walked in, they're like, you're straight. What are you doing here? I'm like, am I not welcome? And then the guy goes, you're a waste. And I go,
You're a
hey,
waste.
that's not nice, man. Why you say that? He's like, I'm just joking. Let me buy you a drink. I'm like, I don't drink, but and then we'd have a good time the rest of the night, whatever. And so for me, I've never been against gay people or any of that. Like, whatever you want to be. Just remember, I'm not. So I'm straight, and then they would
Exactly. But here's the thing is I'm not here to care. I'm not caring that deeply about what you are doing in your life. And I want to, I want to focus on the ideas.
Right.
And if people want to dress up and do what they want to do, just leave the children out of it and let
100%.
people have a chance in life to, identify have their childhood first, and then slowly identify with things in their life organically.
Did you hear about the child who passed right now?
No,
Or was that also fake news?
the child who passed.
Yeah.
No.
They were doing a sex change for him.
I mean, when you start playing around with surgeries, something's inevitable,
Yeah, it was a young
That's
kid,
terrible. Yeah.
young boy. So, I mean, again, I think the world needs more positivity.
The world needs love, man. And
Even these kids, they need love. Even if if
yeah.
a kid is 6 years old and comes to me and says, Dad, 'cause my son he's about to be 6. Says, Dad.
Your son is?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So if he comes to me and says, Dad, I want to be a woman. I'm like, okay, great. Then you're a woman. He goes to me, well, I'd like to get a sex change. I would ask him, okay, now where did you hear that from?
I don't know that would be your answer, though.
No, because
if your son came to you and said that, would that be your answer?
First of all, kids change,
Right,
right? As they
100%,
grow. My
yeah.
mom, until she was like 12, she didn't want to be a girl.
Yeah.
She didn't want to wear dresses or any of that.
Right.
So kids just change. So today he wants to be Spider-Man. Tomorrow he's Superman. He could be Cinderella the next day. I'm not going to tell him he's not. But you know, if he has this day where, because from kids from the time that they're 0, that they're born to the age of 7, they're not really conscious.
For sure.
They're in hypnosis.
Your mindset, your mind is still growing.
Right.
You know?
They're in lower vibrations than ours.
Yeah.
So the way they are, it's almost like they're hypnotized. They have nothing to be conscious of until they're about 7 that they build the program. We have 100 billion neural connections in the brain, and every time we create more and more and more connections. Now, as a child, if he comes and tells me he is Superman one day, I'm not going to remove that creativity from him, because I was Superman one day.
For
And then I
sure.
was Spider-Man. You know, and there's every day I change. I was Batman. Whoever I wanted to be, I wanted to be. My parents never told me don't be that. So if my son today said I'm Cinderella, that's fine, because tomorrow he's going to be Superman again. I'm not looking at that. But if he told me I need to have a sex change, that means somebody planted it in his brain.
I would say, where did you learn those words?
Yeah. Where are those words coming from?
Yeah, because I never said those words to you.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of friends that have very young children, and when they say something and you know that you've never exposed them to that, where did you learn those words?
If I never said the word F word, right? If I never said the F word next to him, and he comes and he says the F word, where'd you hear that?
Yeah.
And they'll tell you right away.
And look, it can go amongst any topic, you know, whether it's gender identity or, you know, transitioning or whatever. A lot of that, because right now that's such a hot topic on children and in the news about what's going on. That's why there's getting so much focus on it. But it could be about anything, you know. It could be about drugs. I remember as a kid watching a short film. It was a cartoon, and there was like Ghostbusters in it and like all these little tunes in it. And it was like about this kid smoking weed and going down this spiral, and then all of these like characters that he loved kind of like turned into these like goblin-y like monsters to him. And it scared the crap out of me as a kid, going, that's what happens when you do that. But they exposed me to that. I wouldn't have known, like, you know, that about weed or marijuana at that young age, you know. They exposed me to that. And I'm like 6 years old watching that, you know.
And, you know, I'm really wondering, what do you think? Do you think that everything that they're telling us and coming up with all of these hectic ideas are not to distract us from something bigger?
It's a distraction, but also if you're... this goes down the rabbit hole.
The rest of the world watches us and thinks that we're a bunch of fucking losers.
Well, they're turning us into those. Yeah, not us, but they're turning the next generation into that.
They're looking at United States as
It's
a
by
bunch
design.
of losers.
It's by design.
You go to places before, it was like people would hear about America. Oh my God, I want to get to America. What was it? So we used to have 15,000 new millionaires per year moving to United States. The past year, it was only 1,500.
Get out. Wow.
And it looks like we're about to completely reverse that, where millionaires are leaving the United States.
I'd be surprised if they're not. So where are they going? Dubai?
Yeah.
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 I've had a lot of friends lately who have money talk about Dubai.
Think about it. You could go.
Going to Dubai.
Yeah. You could go right now to Dubai, live there for 10 years, make money in those 10 years, not pay taxes, right? Then decide to move back to United States, bring that money back with you, and you don't need to pay taxes for it.
That's what I heard. That's wild stuff. A lot of crypto dudes are going to Dubai. Yeah. I mean, you only have to live there for 5 years, don't you? Like, in order to get citizenship? Or what is the rule there? It's something like real low bar, like easy to get in.
Yeah, I think if you bought a home there and lived there I think you need to live there like 360 days of the year or something.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
To get citizenship, something like that. We're checking right now with the lawyers because I might be moving down there.
Oh wow, I've got another friend moving down
within
there.
a year or two.
He's also saying how a way to make money out there is to purchase multiple, while they're planning the build of a building, purchase multiple units before it's even built.
And as soon as they're built, their prices go up. and then you could rent them out, wait a little bit of time, then you could sell them. You made a shit ton of money.
I was hearing that
And
you
then
don't
you
even have
do
to
that.
rent them out yet. You could just sell them like before, right as the building's being completed. Sell
You
them.
could sell before it's completed.
Yeah. So you're just kind of helping
So
fund the
they-
project.
Exactly. So right now, let's say there's land
Yeah.
and they have an idea. You buy into that idea.
Okay.
You buy one of the units. There's 100 units. You buy one unit. That unit is going to be X amount of money.
Pretty affordable these days too over there.
Yeah. Let's say you buy the unit for $100,000, right?
Could you imagine?
You bought it for 100 grand. Now you wait a little bit of time. They're done with the building. Before they're done, before it's all clean and nice and ready to move, there's just a building up. They didn't even finish the interior. You could sell it for easily double the money, if not triple.
So people are going in there and just buying like floors, right? And just
Exactly.
like, I'll buy all the units on that floor.
Exactly.
That's an interesting, proposition.
They're also very good at not asking where your money came from.
I bet they are. I mean, a smart guy is going to go, okay, there's money in front of me, but it's not my problem.
Some years ago, it was like that in Cyprus as well. They told you, bring all your money to our banks. Doesn't matter where it came from.
Wow.
We're going to put it in the bank for you, and it's legit money. So all the gangsters around the world went to Cyprus and put all their money in there. And millions and millions and millions of dollars came to Cyprus in one shot. They didn't ask where it came from.
Wow. Yeah, that's wild, man. That's also out of my purview.
You
I'm
know, like right now it's CBDC, right? They want to bring in the CBDC, and the feds would be in control of all your money and all of that.
I heard something about like the money couldn't even expire. Like, is that true?
100%.
That's wild.
It gets to a
my
point
money.
where people can't get rich anymore, right? They're removing that American dream from the people. That's why a lot of people are leaving the United States.
The American dream has turned into the American drain.
Nightmare.
Yeah.
It's no longer the American dream. So what you have is them possibly, obviously the people I hope are smart enough to fight this. But I think that they're going to put in the CBDC and tell you, well, you know what? Since they'll create a huge inflation, right? Because think about it this way. In Corona time, there was so much money printed, but it wasn't put into the system. It was being sent out to pay for debt and also buying bonds and all of that. That money is going to travel back here soon because of the BRICS nation. They're not going to be using dollars. All that money will be brought back here soon. And then once it's here, it's going to completely inflate the market. Right? If right now for $100 I could buy United States because that's all the money that's in the economy, and now they print another $100, that means that my buying power went down by half, and now I could only buy with $100 half of the United States, not a full United States.
It's incredible.
So if all that money comes back over here, what's going to happen? Everything will inflate. You have gas, a gallon is going to cost you $25, $30. What are they going to do? They're going to start giving out money for free. How? In CBDC. You want money for free? Okay, we'll give it to you in CBDC. They're going to force you to take that money. Once you got that money, let's say it's not enough, they'll be like, okay, we'll give you more money. And slowly, boom, everybody's going to be in CBDC. Now they control your money. Now they control you. They control where you go. They control where you drive. They'll control everybody. And that point in time, you will have no freedom. It will not be a free country anymore, which it hasn't been for a while. It will be exactly a dictatorship. It's going to be a place where people are going to suffer, and they're not going to have enough money to leave the United States.
So since we're idea guys, what's the fix?
I know what's the fix. First of all, they have to say no to CBDC. That's number one. Number two, the people have to gather together as a team and pick the right president. Number three, if anything, if there's BRICS nation and we're going away from the dollar, the world reserve currency, we need to be part of the BRICS nation. We need to not go into war with China because now they built 4 bases in the Philippines to go into war with China. Are you kidding me?
It's escalating.
War with China while China is with Russia and Russia is with Iran and everybody. That's exactly what they want. They'll annihilate Ukraine. They'll get into war with us. they're going to kill us because you're talking about the whole world against us. It's crazy. Why get into that war? In World War II, you know how many people died? Look, I'm Jewish, and they speak about World War II, about the Jews that died and all of that, which is the reason they talk about the Jews mainly because we were put into concentration camps and killed. You know, like literally like animals. They killed us. It was horrifying. They took in Russia, there is a place called Rostov. In Rostov, they buried babies and women together, like 200,000 or something like that. Just all together, buried them alive. That's why they talk about the Jews. But in total, millions of people died. Like 18 million Russian people died.
It's wild.
So when you go into World War, there is, and then it wasn't the whole world against us, and millions of Americans died too. But there was the whole world against us. And now the whole world against us is going to be the end of the world, right? Because everybody's going to go into war and everybody loses in war.
Everybody loses.
There's no such thing as winning. What are you going to do? Drop a nuclear bomb on everybody? Everybody's going to die. So I think first make peace, two, become part of the BRICS nation. Or if somehow, like Trump had a great relationship with the president of China, with the president of Russia, he had a great relationship with them.
So if we join it?
Maybe we could bring back, reverse it, or join it, one or the other.
So if America joins the BRICS nation, does it become Buick? Bjork? I'm just kidding.
It's a
Minus the R.
possibility. It's a possibility.
But
you know, it's we have to do something because I don't think it's a good route to go to war because millions of people will die.
Millions of people will die. People will lose everything, and you know, it's just. It sounds too chaotic, I think, for the average person to digest right now, and it's a serious conversation. I've been tweeting about it too. You know, I mean, people don't want to have this conversation. You know what they want to do? They want to turn on their television set, they want to cook their dinner, and they want to go to bed. They don't want to like open the window and see what's going on outside.
Right,
you know,
right.
And that's where people like you and I. I'm more comfortable in these conversations than I am watching television.
Right.
You know,
right?
Because they're telling me a vision.
Right.
And I'm telling you the vision, you know,
right,
and
right.
it's just a completely different mindset, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's getting heavy out there, but I'm glad that you are putting your platform out there to promote good ideas and promote, you know, positive thinking, and you know, masculinity is also something that's been kind of dipping in our culture. Guys are looking for people like you in order to, I mean, there's dudes who don't have father figures, you know, and they log in on YouTube and they look for people like you who are kind of there to spank them a little bit and be like, hey, shape up, you know.
And I have that a lot.
Yeah.
I have people also from like Israel who write to me who their dad died in war and things of that.
Of course, man.
And, And for me, it's such a blessing because I love being everybody's father. I've always been like that in every group that I've been in, and I will die for the people.
It's a responsibility. Yeah, man. I mean, you have a heavy responsibility when you have an audience, especially with this 100K plaque I'm looking at right there.
Yeah, yeah. We're at 150 today, so
that's incredible.
Amazing. And so it took them 2 weeks to get here, and we got another 50K.
Did I hear you correctly? It took you 28 days to get from 0 to
117,000.
Bro, that's exponential growth.
Yeah, yeah.
You 100x and you 100x, man. Actually, like, that's wild to think about, man. Congratulations.
It's amazing. It seems like they love me and they love the ideas that I bring to the table, and they see that I'm actually promoting love and care. I'm not here for anything else except caring for the people. And they say that they could see the genuine in my eyes, like they could feel it through the videos, which is incredible. I thought I could only express it when I'm with somebody face to face, but I guess even through the videos, you could see that I'm just here to help the people and to really guide them to good places. And I hope I won't be censored at some point. You know, Instagram did censor me right now, but I hope, and for nothing, for no reason. it sucks because the video that they stopped, it was a video that's completely fine on their other platform, which is Facebook. It's fine on TikTok, which is the platform that takes down everything if it's bad.
Yeah.
I'm on YouTube.
What was the topic?
I just told a story about my life. When I was a baby, my uncle was killed by Pablo Escobar and his people. And it was just a story. It's in my story that I have also on YouTube, like the full story. And then we made it into a short.
And they took it down?
They took it down one time, and then I appealed it. And then they brought it back and opened up my platform again. And then they took it down again. And now I appealed it again, but it goes to like an oversight where somebody has to see it. And it takes about a month if they're going to see it. So now nobody could see any of my stuff except my actual followers. So my only way to get out there is for my followers to constantly share my stuff, my videos.
Yeah, man. See, the algorithm and what they're doing, that's the evil that I can't get behind that.
I can't either.
You know, there are certain ideas, like if it's murderous ideas or if it's things that are like promoting, you know, I mean, we can say that, but they're promoting certain things that are somewhat murderous, but, you know, blatantly wrong ideas, blatant that everybody can agree upon. That's not something you need to see. Those things maybe can get taken down, but I had a song taken down I wrote a song for Britney Spears and I just got it back up after a long time. And I'm like going, I own the copyright. Like I wrote that, you know, it's like, it's hilarious how people think that they can just like strip something from you and make you fight for it back, you know?
You know, like in the time that Twitter took away Donald Trump, but they
2016 or when was that? 2019? It was the end of his presidency.
I don't remember, but what I do know is that Al-Qaeda, which is a terrorist group.
Oh, right.
You know, that's from where Osama bin Laden was from. They have a Twitter account.
Exactly.
What?
Promoting death culture.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing normal here.
Yeah.
There's nothing normal. So the fact that Elon Musk took over that platform, it's amazing. I wish he bought all the platforms.
Hey, you know what? We'll start here. It's made a big impact. And I mean,
and I'm sure that people know of Rumble.
Rumble's great. Yep.
I'm getting on Rumble now.
Yep.
So start posting there. And I feel like there's probably going to be more content that will be more exclusive that I'm going to be speaking about that I can't really share on these platforms.
For sure. So
I'm going to be talking about them over there and maybe make an account where people have to kind of subscribe to see it. I don't know if I'm going to charge anybody for it, but like a subscription where I see who the person is. You can charge on Twitter. Or whatever Subscribe. It is. And just make sure that these are real people before they are subscribed, so I know it's not like someone who's trying to take my information
for sure
and put it out there to try to ban me again, you know?
I don't have to agree with your ideas, but I have to agree that you need to be able to share your ideas.
100%. Listen, freedom of speech, it's like the First Amendment, you know, is freedom of speech, is being able to speak. As long as you're not harming anybody. I'm not saying, hey, guys, go do a bunch of steroids and they're good for you. You know what I mean?
Well,
I literally don't promote anything. I could say, hey, guys, I did steroids in my life. I've done it a couple of times before a show. I explained what I took. Today, I'm not on steroids. I don't need steroids unless I want to grow another 20 pounds.
Which I do, but
I got
to eat Chipotle every day.
Exactly. But it's like, I don't promote it. I educate people and I say that this is the bad stuff from it. This is the good stuff from it. And if you don't need to use it, you don't need to use it. I think as long as it's educational, it's fine. I'm not indoctrinating anybody. I'm not forcing anybody to do anything. So even if I come up with an idea of, hey, maybe I think you guys should look into 2024 voting for Trump, because Trump has done very well for us before in the time that he was in the term and actually did a lot of good work. Maybe you guys should look into that and look into who's going to be next to make sure that he's done good work before you pick that other person. Like, actually look at them. Don't think personal. You don't like Trump personally, whatever, you think he's an asshole, whatever it is, that's fine. But look at it as okay, what did he do good for the country? What could he do now better for the country? Is he the man for the job? People have to stop being so sympathetic. I just made a video about that too. You can't like hear somebody say something and then feel it, let it itch your stomach. You want to puke. You're dying because they said something on social media. Why are you letting that affect you? I don't care how he speaks behind closed doors. He's a man. It's his life. He could speak however he wants. Does he get the job done? That's all I care about.
There's two sides of that coin. If you're able to share your ideas, then the opposing view is able to share their ideas. But the blurred line in the center is who's hurting my feelings? What's hurting my feelings? And so what we as society need to be able to do is have the conversation and allow everyone to explain their ideas. But we have to leave the younger generation to be. They have to be able to grow up and have a fair shot. We can't grow people up with these extreme ideas that aren't going with just, natural just truth, natural thought process. If it's forcing you to have to relearn something from just naturally being born from the womb and like there's truth, I was born this way, right? Having to teach a kid that what they are is not what they are, that's going against truth. So what we have to do is allow children their space to grow and let adults have real conversations. And if you want to share your side, I'll share my side,
You know what? And before we wrap this up,
Yeah.
I want to show you a little video that
Okay.
really made me just itch. Let me show you. Where is this? Of this lady who's having her little baby say that he's gay, and she's going to tell the grandparents that the boy is gay. And I'm like, he is literally a few months old, or maybe, I don't know, not even a year old. Let me show you this video.
He is gay. Yeah, this is him. He's gay. I called up my dad and I said, hey, guess what? Your grandson, gay. Gay, gay, gay.
So,
like,
do you want my thought on that?
yes,
You know what it feels like? That baby doesn't even know what she's saying.
of course not.
So the baby's like, what's on TV? Wow, what am I looking at? The mom wants her
Attention.
son. The mom wants that. I think it's clear as day you don't have to be on either side of the line to understand what that video was. But what we're witnessing from that is a society and a culture where people think that they can just put an identity on somebody and that's it.
Exactly.
It can go both ways for that. And that's why as a conversationalist, somebody who I want to come forward and have real conversations, I'm open to having a conversation with her and having her explain herself. But what I'm not open to is growing somebody up under an identity that I've given them and not allowing that child a chance to figure out the world for themselves first.
Exactly.
So-
Just like I said, if my son today wants to be somebody, be it. Okay. Whatever he wants to be. I'm not going to plant an idea on him, plant it in his mind. I'm not going to engrave in his mind and say, you are going to be this and that. You're going to be a bodybuilder. You're going to be a
Okay,
movie
well, now
star.
that conversation we'll have. I'm just kidding. No, I mean, there
I'll
are dads
take
that...
him
no,
I'll
but
take him to the gym with me.
But exactly,
and if he
there are
enjoys
dads.
it,
Yeah,
cool.
that's a way to do it. That's the way to do it. See, there are dads though that just get their kid in the gym and that's it, and you got to follow this, and then you see them on like, I remember back in the day there was an episode of like Maury, or I can't remember what show it was, but it was like this young dude at like 13 and he's jacked, and you're like, dude,
Yeah.
you haven't even started growing yet, like,
Right. Yeah. So that kid,
same conversation.
he was
though.
little Hercules, and he
Yes,
was literally 6 years old.
That's right. Yeah.
And that kid was shredded to the bone. If you ask him, where do you want to go, the gym or Disneyland? Then he would go the gym.
And he probably wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like going to soccer.
But did you see him now?
Is he not no
He's
longer?
got no muscles.
So let me ask you something. Was that because his father or somebody in his family was pushing him to do that, and now
Yeah.
he already did it and he's over it?
100%.
And also, this could
his
tie-
parents were bodybuilders.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay to introduce somebody to like an athletic sport.
I mean,
or
he was
something.
made on gear.
Oh, he was as a
He was made on gear. Like his parents were both on gear while they made him.
Oh, got you.
Also, you can see that.
Literally made on
Yeah.
gear. I was like, they did
No.
not give that kid gear.
Yeah. No, I think they did. Yeah, he's a drop of testosterone.
Oh, shit. But I mean, you know, my parents threw me into, I was in Boy Scouts. I'm an Eagle Boy Scout. I was in flag football. I was in baseball. I never made the teams at school, but I was always in like the free team, you know, the YMCA and like the young, you know, local teams. And I had a blast.
Yeah.
But that's not what I want to do now.
Right.
You know, my dad told me I could not get my driver's license until I got my Eagle Boy Scout badge by
That's
16.
not cool. That's
Well,
not
you
cool.
say it's not cool. And at the time, I was like, Dad, I don't want to do this. I want to sit on AIM, you know, Instant Messenger. I want to like play on the internet. But looking back at that one, I have to say I learned so much leadership quality because what the Boy Scouts isn't necessarily what the gym is, you know, as a kid. You got to learn some leadership skills as a kid. So I commend my dad and I thank him for that. But most people say what you say. Well, man, I can't believe he forced you to do that. I mean, it was actually, I didn't have a choice. I had to get my driver's license, so I had to get my Eagle Scout badge.
I'll tell you why. Because my dad would force on me a lot of things.
Right.
And today I wouldn't force on my son anything, but I would guide him to greatness.
Yes.
So there's a way of getting kids, and you call it whatever, manipulating them, whatever, right? You could outsmart them. Yeah. You could get a good way of telling your kid how great it's going to be for them to be the best at, let's say, running or jumping. Because I was the fastest runner on the 100 meters. I was doing 10.8 100 meter, and that was me in high school. All of LAUSD, I was the fastest runner for the 100 meters. I was also the highest jumper for all of LAUSD, and it was great. I mean, we were playing sports, we were doing everything. But that came from me. Nobody's ever pushed me to do that.
Got you.
But there was other things that my dad did push me to do. And the way he pushed me, where he would either hit me or push me or curse me, I don't think those are the ways. My dad's a gentle giant.
Yeah. My dad never hit me, pushed me, anything like that. It was always pushing me in a sense of, I want you to do good in life and I want you to achieve things in life. But my dad knew I wasn't the best athlete. He never required me to do that. I wanted to do it because my buddies were doing it and I wanted something to do after school, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm thankful for that. But I had a great upbringing and I'm creative, right? My mom's a creative. She's an interior designer. And I grew up watching her build her own business. And I wanted to follow in that way, be creative and explore. And my dad was always, and my mom, they were always so supportive. Go, find like jump, do it. That was what they wanted me to do, was just follow what I wanted to do. It was never, you're going to go be this. However, a lot of kids have family that's like, you're going to be, following in my footsteps and you're going to run the convenience store after me,
So when I'm going to find my wife in the future, and hopefully,
what if
God
she finds
willing,
you?
in the near future,
Yeah.
The way we're going to live is going to be different than the way I grew up and the way people live now. I want to be more off-grid, which means there'll be more chores to do around the house, around the farm.
What, like grow your food? And
grow our own food. And
slaughter your meat?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
So it's going to be different. And that's also why I need an old-fashioned woman who doesn't care about the Gucci bag and
Absolutely.
the BS.
No. I want a chicken coop. That's what I want.
I also want her somebody who's never had any boyfriends before. So I'll be the first one. So probably going to be somebody more on the religion side.
Can I be honest though? That seems like a wish list on that sense. And you may just find her. God may just go boop. But at the same time, be open to the fact that maybe she has had a boyfriend before. I mean, what is that gonna?
I've had relationships where they've had somebody before me, and I personally just don't like it.
So
I like someone who is more on the
young
religious.
Then, right?
No, if she's religious, then she believes that until marriage she waits.
Does she need to be Jewish?
Yes.
Gotcha.
So all the religious women, the Jewish, they don't do anything until they get married.
Okay.
So I don't mind. I'll wait until she gets married, until we get married.
Right.
And the younger the better, of course. I want her as young as possible because at the end of the day, I want to have 6 kids.
Like 20, 25?
No.
Like
18, 19, 20.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You're talking about like that.
Yeah, because if you think about it, women mature much quicker than men. So today, if a woman is a real woman and she's 20 years old, she's like a 30-year-old man nowadays.
Yeah.
And women get their period at the age of 12, right? That's when God has created them in a way to have kids, to start a family at the age of 12. As many years ago, we would live to like 30, right? 30, 32, 33. People would die from a tooth infection, from whatever it is. People just didn't survive till 100 years old. So they would, in order to start a tribe, they would start very young. My grandma had her first child when she was 14.
See,
So-
I know families that are like that too.
So when she's 12, she's ready to have a kid. By the time that she's 20, which is 8 years later, her body wants it. You know, she wants to conceive a baby. She wants to give life. That's how we are created by God biologically. And a man, in order for him to be able to be the best man for her, he needs to be a little bit older because he's got to be able to be the leader. He's got to be able to be the provider. He's got to be able to protect her. All of these things. So somebody like me that's 32 years old, and if she's 20 years old, I could already provide to her everything she needs, right? And what I need is a woman and a family. I don't need somebody who's gonna go, oh, I gotta take a selfie on Instagram and I gotta do pictures like this and like that.
Yeah,
No.
that's this generation, man. And
Right.
the younger they get, like 21, they're in that world of, I want to put me first. I want to put me on the internet, and it's like
And
I
because
want a
it's all
man that's
about
going to give
fame.
me Gucci and Prada,
Right. And I could give her that. It's not a problem. I don't want her life to be about that.
Right.
But when they are godly women, all they think about is family, home, husband, and me too. I mean, I pray, So I have times throughout the day that I'm going to be praying. There's times that I need to work. There's times that I need
pray
to
all day.
Yeah. But like actual prayers, like from
Absolutely.
the Bible.
Absolutely. Same.
So, for me, and I want her to be from the same religion as me, because obviously
It's
I don't
respectable.
want the kids to be in conflict with themselves. Wait, am I Christian? Am I
That's a whole nother
Muslim?
combo.
Am I Jewish? I don't know where I'm from. No, I'm Jewish. The woman is Jewish. Guess what? The kids know they're Jewish. If someone's Muslim, he marries a Muslim. Guess what? The kids know they're Muslim. There is no like if.
Yeah,
it's-
that's a real conversation for sure.
Yeah, and it's great. I think it's the best thing you could do for your kids, because when people are in the unsure, it makes them also very insecure. So if we're all on the same page, we're all on the same page.
Right.
We're starting a family. So for me, I realized that somebody that's going to be younger, someone who hasn't had a boyfriend, haven't been through breakups, is never going to break up with me. If I'm the only thing she ever knew, I'm the only thing she's ever going to want.
Gotcha.
If she's had multiple breakups and now she has to go, we have a hard time at the house and we have 3 kids, and she's like, you know what, I've been through a breakup before, let me just go through it again.
Yeah.
Guess what? She will leave. But my mom never been with anybody except my dad. They were together since they were 12. My dad was 13, she was 12.
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah, and they were together for many years, and 7 years ago they separated, and still my mom doesn't want to ever see a man again. But until that time, even when they had hard times, even when they traveled from Israel to here, my mom and my dad always stuck together because
beautiful.
they were together. He was the only thing she knew.
Yeah.
But if she knows other things from before, she might be open to just break up a family very quick, which you see it a lot
You
now.
see it, yeah. Yeah.
It literally shows nowadays that marriages do not work and do not last. Right?
There's definitely a culture of leaving the man or the man leaving the woman, and we're fueling it by having
I'm not a cheater. I never cheated. I'm not somebody who's going to lie to you. I'm not somebody who's going to take from you your values or your beliefs. I'm someone who's going to love, protect, serve you, die for you. I want that woman by my side to see only me, because she's the only thing that I see.
Man, I can see the passion in your eyes when you say that. So, I commend you for that, bro.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, dude.
All right. Well, I think that was good for today.
Dude, you know what, man? I appreciate this is my first podcast, and we may not see eye to eye on everything, but we see a place that we can meet and discuss ideas, and that was what I was looking for, and I appreciate that, bro.
Look at me
yeah.
and look at you. We look completely different, right?
No, we don't.
No? We're like twins? It is what it is. God is so beautiful that he
We got a
created. You got the orange look. I got more of like the dark look. But God created us so different, and he's so beautiful because he wanted us to respect and just accept everybody. I accept everybody as long as you're not looking to harm me, right? Then I have to like protect myself. But at first, I give everybody the benefit of the doubt, and sure. I trust everybody. I look at you, I trust you. If you give me a reason after not to trust you, you're lost. You lost my trust, right? And
I always say, I'm vanilla ice cream. If there's any sprinkles, it's because you put it on there. So.
I like that. Well, brother, thank you for coming in.
No, let's shake, man.
Let's shake.
Let's
get a better handshake.
Let's go, bro.
Look at those arms.
Hey, look at those arms. Are you kidding me, man?
Give him a flex, man.
We need to have a off-camera conversation on how I can get that big.
Oh, okay. I'll get the cow in here.
Hey, bro, thanks again, man.
Hey,
it's been a pleasure.
You guys, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for being with us. Love you all, and we'll see you soon for the next podcast.
No, I'm drifting, catch you slipping, won't be back again. No, I'm drifting, catch you slipping, won't be back again. Roll the riches, lot of fishes, so we throwing nets. Hide the shipping, medican, yeah, we back again. No, I'm drifting, catch you slipping, won't be back again. No, I'm drifting, catch